let's do a big different for game three's predictions, right? I mean, we've always been doing the traditional best, bust, surprising, and prediction, but I want to go a bit in depth about game three because this is the NBA Finals, right? It's 1-1. I don't think Miami Heat have, obviously, they won game one for all three playoff series before this, so they obviously have always stolen home court advantage away from them. And with the whole funny thing about Jimmy Butler making a documentary out of this playoffs run and everything around that game, I really want to know what do you think is going to happen in game three? Who's going to be the real one stepping up in this game? How do you think Nuggets are going to probably, Max Jones was on fire, Game Vincent was on fire? What's going to be the defensive strategy against these 3-point players? And again, we're going to stick to our traditional guns. Who's going to be the best player? Who's going to be the bust? Who is going to be the surprising player, and what do you think is going to be the prediction for game three?
I guess I'll go first. Um, to me, I'm gonna go with a hot take, and I am biased, but I feel like Miami's gonna take this game. I feel like
Oh,
Miami goes up 2-1, and then game four, Nuggets are worried about going down 3-1. And that is obviously, we all know that's like a death sentence to any team, right? 3-1, coming back from 3-1, even though the Nuggets have done it in the past multiple times, I wouldn't want to be in that situation in the finals, especially when this team hasn't faced any mental adversity, right? They've gone and jumped teams because they have been the better team, they have been the better talent, they have had depth, and that's what they've been doing. But if Miami takes this next game, I would actually favor Miami in this series. Um, but let's not get it twisted. I feel like Denver is a very strong team, and they're gonna go out, they're gonna go out there and give those punches. Miami will have to play like extremely well and be contesting. Back to the format. Best player. I'm still banking on Jimmy coming back, like Jimmy being alive. I mean, he did show like signs of good play today, but he still wasn't Jimmy the Jimmy. So I'm expecting him to finally show up in Miami and put the Nuggets away to get to secure that 2-1 lead and shock the world once again, and to spark that Jordan conversation once more. Bust of the game. Well, we kind of like took the whole video to dog MPJ, so I'm just gonna pick him, I guess, to be to be the bust of the game. For surprise, ooh, I think Jimmy. Jimmy's gonna surprise everybody, because he's been playing a clunker of a game for, I don't know, like 5-6 games now, except that game seven where he played decent, but he just hit a bunch of threes, I guess. I haven't seen that signature Jimmy game, and I'm rooting for that one. Uh, like I said, I think Miami is taking this game 2-1.
Uh, that's a bit controversial. I don't think so. Miami is coming
For
back in this
sure, for
series.
sure.
They
I
they
told you, I'm
pulled
taking the spicy takes.
they pulled in a game. I don't think so. They're coming back for another game anytime soon, unless they are 3-1 down and probably then your Jimmy Butler shows up.
Mm.
Right, that is what I'm banking on. Again, like I said in the first podcast, well, he did not show up as like he should. He did not take the ownership of the game. He did not dominate the game to win this one. That's what I'm saying. That he needs those clutch situations. If he's not under pressure, he's not going to perform. I mean, there's a lot of people that happen that are completely opposite in this regard. When you put them under pressure, they do not perform.
Mm.
Let's talk about D'Angelo Russ. He's a great example of these kind of player who once in
Jason Tatum.
pressure. Uh,
Jason
Jason Tate,
Tatum.
not Jason Tatum. He pulled a 50-point game in game seven.
Wait, which game seven are you talking about?
In the
I remember
last
the most
series.
recent one.
No, I am talking about the 50-point game that he had. He shows that he can perform under pressure. I'll take what I have. All right. So, I mean, Jimmy Butler is complete opposite. He needs pressure. He needs that hammering to perform. So, that's not going to
Hmm.
happen again. Nuggets will need to do a lot better in defense, like we talked about in this whole in the podcast as well. That they were giving a lot of open threes. The fourth quarter was abysmal. I don't have a better word for it. It was abysmal. to the point that they were so open on those looks. They defended the paint well, but on the corners, I don't know what they were doing in the corners. They were not even pushing. I don't know what happened to Denver Nuggets in the last. They were not even pushing towards the corner. They were like, if the guy is
Yeah, I mean,
shooting, we'll give
sure.
him an open space to shoot.
Yeah, and even they had a few of those crazy fouls. Like KCP had two of those end of shot clock, crazy three, like just slap him on the wrist kind of a foul. That's the worst kind of foul you can give up, right? Three free throws, stop the shot clock, and just easy offense for Miami, where Miami was sometimes struggling to create that offense. You had them in the position that you want them, taking a tough shot from 30 plus feet, contested. You would take that, right? But instead, you give them three free throws on two different occasions, and Jokic going for the crazy steal ideas. I mean, it was a janky defense. It at best, like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was Denver who lost the game. It was not Miami. I mean, Miami
Mm,
was much better in the first game. Much better from the first game. In this particular game, they are finding the rhythm again. They are starting to look like a good team, not a better team. The Nuggets are still the better team here. Still starting to look a good team. I think so. They'll need a couple of star performances, if I must tell you,
mm.
to win them another game, because I don't think so. The Joker will take another back. Will give up. Have so many slip ups defensively in the next game, and that's why I don't think.
But that's the thing, right? Jokic still had a massive game tonight. He didn't have a bad game. He tried his best to win this game. It was his
No, no.
teammates
I
that
mean
didn't
with
show
his
up.
troops. I mean with his troops. That is what I meant. As a whole, that's what I'm talking about. Not just Joker alone, but as his troops. He's not letting his troops give them just throw away another game. And
Mm.
that's not. I think so. It would be a 4-1 unless it's a big Jimmy
Oh,
performance after the 3-1 game in game 5.
okay.
It
So
would
you're
be a
saying
4-1.
like no more Miami wins till so because it's like
I
a
don't think
4-1, right?
unless
Okay.
unless it's a big Jimmy performance.
Okay.
Unless it's a 3-1, not a 4-1.
It's
If
getting
it's a
old
4,
now, buddy. It's getting old. You've been saying that since the last series now. The Miami's not gonna win anymore.
I mean, they'll have to stop somewhere. I'm just salty about that winning continuously. So I'm just hoping that this is what puts the stop to it.
This is the
But
end, eh?
yeah, talking about the regular format, I think so. The best player in the next game again will be hands down Nikola Jokic, who's the best player in the NBA right now. Right, there's nothing stopping him. Nothing is stopping him. They could not stop
Mm,
him in this game as well. I don't know what's
that's
happening
true.
with him. He's not having any bad game this playoff series, this playoff run. No bad games at all, and that's what he's doing. He's carrying his team on the back. Uh, the biggest bust of the game again. I don't think so. Jimmy Butler was a bust in this game. He was decent. But the kind of expectations we have from him, I think so. He could be, or and MPJ and Jimmy Butler both will be the biggest bust of the next game again, right? Talking about the most surprising player, I think so. Kevin Love, very like we talked in the first podcast as well, surprised us in a good way in this game as well. But I think so he'll have a lot to perform in the next game if he gets to play the next game as well. And I think so that's where he'll surprise us the most. I think so he still has a lot of potential. He was not as per his 100% potential, but I think so that will. He'll come back in the next game and probably show us what he's made, the metal that he's made of.
Mm.
Talking about the series winner, I think so. I'm very clear on that front. I think so. The game winner, I think so. Denver Nuggets is winning the next game for sure.
All right.
All
And
of the next games.
yeah, that's a hot take for sure. I'll make it really brief. I think the best player is definitely going to be Jokic. I think throughout the playoff series, I think he's been the best player in the entire playoffs. There's no one been even close. I think Giannis was close for one game probably. LeBron was close for a couple games, but Jokic was definitely the best player throughout the time. I think the bust is going to be Michael Porter Jr. I'm going to ride this narrative till they trade that guy away for the actual good third option, which is what they need right now. I think the surprising player is going to be Jimmy Butler because for the last two games, I'm not going to. I don't expect Jimmy Butler to go down 3 games with 20-point performances. I think he's going to have a bounce back game. But at the same point in time, I'm going to pick the Nuggets. I think the Nuggets are in a
Mm.
situation, just like you Grant said, that they have not been down in the series in the entire playoffs, right? They've never been down. And the closest that they were to losing was 2-2 against the Suns, and they went home and they did their job. I think this is what
Mm.
constitutes as the championship mentality. I think this is where Jokic, Jamal Murray, and Michael Malone, and even Aaron Gordon, as kind of a veteran player to these players, and probably Bruce Brown, step up and tell these players how important this game is. This is probably the game that could define the entire playoff series and the
That's
finals.
true.
So I think Nuggets are gonna run away with this game. I'm predicting a 25 plus point blowout
Oof.
in Miami. I'm going for it. This is hot take Tuesday for today. And
I mean,
yeah,
to be fair, like I said, it has to be a blowout. Otherwise, I think Miami is always in the game.
yeah,
And like even today, it felt like Denver was in control, but they clearly weren't.
they could clearly win. Exactly. So I'm predicting a Nuggets win, but if Miami makes me eat up my words, I mean, this prediction could, this prediction and this entire final series could, run up.
Yeah, exactly. Like I agree with you on that. This like it was game 2 first. That was gonna be a very big game, and now game 3, I think, is an even bigger game at this point. If Miami take this game, it will almost be like Miami will snatch the soul out of Denver's
For sure.
uh the Denver Nuggets. I feel
Being
like it'll be a crazy game.